Welcome to our next episode of
Fandom
Family
Chats.
This is a production of Family Fan Clubs on Facebook. You can find us all over Facebook. You can find us all over social media under Fandom Family Chats. Look us up, get dialed in, get plugged in, and get ready to listen to some crazy people talk crazy stuff.
Hey everyone, I'm Jeanette.
I'm Shelby.
I'm Eve.
I'm Amanda.
And we are discussing Grey's Anatomy and Station 19. We'll look at what episode this is because
15.
I keep messing this up. 15. Okay. So Station 19, we started off right where we picked up last time. So Andy's running away from her attack, towards the station.
Did anybody see that going differently? I was kind of surprised.
I mean, what do you think?
I don't know. I thought they were like closer. I didn't think she was like going to run all the way to like 19.
Yeah.
Like I thought they were like maybe like in a parking lot or like, I don't know. I feel like I had this episode envisioned of how it was going to go.
Yeah.
And they really did throw me off, which I mean, bravo to them.
Yeah.
I guess.
Luckily, because I was on vacation last week, I kind of got to watch mine back to back almost. So
That would be better.
I didn't get to make too many speculations.
So
What'd you all think?
It was a really heavy episode.
it really was
It was.
very
Like
emotional.
I didn't cry at all. I didn't cry, but I was definitely very, very mad throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
I did cry, but it wasn't until it was just like little tears, but it wasn't until Andy broke down. Like otherwise I was just sad the whole episode. But when she broke down, I couldn't handle it anymore. So
That's why I said I had every emotion. Like I laughed at parts.
mhm.
I was crying at parts. I was mad at parts.
Yeah.
I was like, it was all over the spectrum when it came to emotions.
Yeah.
This week. And I love that Helm came in
Mhm.
and helped Karina with her exam,
Yeah.
which was, we're going to kind of get through that one fast because it can trigger. But I loved how caring they were with her,
Mhm.
how they spoke, even though it was a friend, even though it was a colleague, they
Yeah.
still took the proper steps and still treated her as a victim like she is.
Right.
And so, I mean, I
Well,
thought it was
whole-
really well done.
Yeah. I mean, I thought she would probably go to the police station rather than coming to the fire station. I'm glad that she came to the fire station though, because I'm glad that she had everyone with her and to be supportive. I mean,
Yeah.
I was sort of waiting on her to say like someone needs to go check on him because we kind of hesitated there. And I know that was just her trauma and her shock and just not thinking about it. But that's what I was thinking in my head. I'm like, oh, someone please get over there because like
Yeah.
this is going to be worse if he doesn't make it. And we know he doesn't, so I don't know, but just how everybody was there for it was, I don't know, it was really sweet just to see that interaction between all of them.
Yeah, it was nice to see them all pull together. I
Mhm.
mean, the situation was far, far, far less than ideal, but it was nice to see them all pull together.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, and while they're doing this, we're having all these flashbacks to Andy's childhood, which
I didn't know where that was going to go.
Like, you guys have watched. Have we gotten, like, what history have we gotten from this age? Is this the first?
Well, I mean, we haven't seen much. I mean, I didn't think her mom was even around much during that time period, was the impression that I had before this episode.
We haven't really gotten much with her as a little girl when her mom was around. We've gotten flashbacks of her like as a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she was so I don't want to say so old, but she was old enough where she was still being portrayed by the same actress
Right.
Yeah.
in the flashbacks.
Okay.
So I don't think they went back, like when her mom came back.
Mm-hmm.
The picture, they kind of went back a little, but
Yeah, not much.
but
But
not yeah.
I was nervous where those flashbacks were going. Was anyone else like?
I was too. I was like,
I was afraid
is this like,
she was abused as a kid and like it was some sort of like repressed memory. I was really afraid of where we were going.
that's
with this.
how, yeah.
I mean, not that this is any better. I mean, obviously we find out that it seems like her mom obviously had some sort of trauma because she
Yeah.
was so adamant about making sure that Andy could defend herself if she ever found herself in that situation. And I have to put this out. I loved how her mom like said something to her uncle when she was like, oh, he just likes you, because I hate that. Like, I mean, I understand that it is true a lot of times that a young boy and girls too, they pick on each other when they like each other because they don't know how to express. But if someone's being like actually mean to you, we don't make an excuse like, oh, they must like you. Like that's not okay. Like,
No.
And I hate that stigma, you know?
Absolutely. And I've tried to explain this to my boys, but in different terms, I guess. I've kind of explained to them like, you know, I don't want to say, I even told them, I was like, I don't want to say it's normal because it's not, it shouldn't happen. But this is why people do this sometimes. It's not right of them.
Right.
But this is an explanation of why.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
the teasing, I mean, like teasing, there's a fine line there. I mean, obviously teasing, because I think even as adults, sometimes we joke and pick on someone when we like have a crush on them. I mean, you banter, which is different. I don't know, sometimes kids can get that confused, but it still doesn't mean you should make an excuse for them just because. So I was proud that she like said that, you know?
Yeah, I was too. And she talked to her after that about it too. She didn't just, you know, let it go after that. She had a whole long conversation with her.
Yeah.
Which I love.
That is nice too, because we've known that Andy's mom was sort of absent when she was young. We've never really seen like her be a mom or her do something good. And so this was kind of a nice episode to see that she wasn't just like an absentee mom. I mean, obviously she was there and she, you know, was taking care of her before she left and stuff. So,
I mean, it seems like she had a pretty good hand in the self-defense, which I think that's actually that's one of Andy's biggest strengths is she's very strong.
Yeah.
And you kind of find out this episode that it's not just to do with her mom. I'm sure other things have all happened in her life to make her stronger and stronger.
Right.
But I feel like the base of that was her mom.
Her mom. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
I agree. Yeah. And then, so I guess we can talk about like them, like they get to the scene and at first they didn't see him. And of course, all this stuff, I'm like, where is he? Where did he go? Like, why isn't he there? But he's unconscious when they do find him. So he's not in good shape. And what did you all think about? I mean, I hate to say I a little bit agreed with Beckett, but I wish they had called someone else in.
Yeah, they should have immediately.
I get their thought process. I mean, they were thinking, hey, if this guy dies, then, you know, Andy committed murder. So we have to go find him like yesterday.
Right.
So I kind of get like the blind panic left and they went to go find him right away. But Beckett was right also.
Yeah, I mean, definitely they should have headed out there like they did. But like on the way,
should have called on the way.
They should have called someone else to meet them there. You know, just so they had all their bases covered.
So that way they would have found him. And then by the time they found him, someone else would have been there to actually treat him.
Yes. And he probably would have gotten to the hospital a lot sooner.
And because we do see that kind of backfire a little later when the police get involved.
Yep. Yeah, it does. I mean, I had a feeling it was going to. I knew that wasn't going to just slide over. So you can't. I mean, I think we watch enough of these shows to know what you can and cannot do.
Right.
And we all knew they were breaking a rule. But I was like, maybe this guy won't die. And I think if the guy didn't die, I think that would have kind of just went under the rug. I mean, they might have got a slap on the wrist. But now we're talking.
I didn't think he would die.
I didn't either.
I definitely thought he was going to survive.
Same. I didn't see that.
And what about those cops? Oh my gosh, they had me so angry when they were interviewing Andy both times. I mean, even the guys at first. I mean, thank God for Ben, like being there to be her advocate.
I loved that part too.
Yeah. I told you all in the chats, all that was running through my head was, look, Jay and Voight would never treat someone like this. And this is all that's running through my head. I was like, where is that at?
Voight would have gone out and like strangled Jeremy himself.
Exactly. It made me so mad.
I know. It did me too. Trust me.
Because the thing was, I mean, you could see visibly. I mean, there were physical injuries to her.
Yep.
Like, not that you should question it either way. I mean, you should take, but I mean, like, there was nothing to question. Like, you could see that there was an altercation. So she was telling the truth. And it's not like she used a weapon on this guy. It's not like she punched him in the throat. I mean, you know, but she was defending herself as a self-defense procedure. So it just made me mad the way they were questioning it, because it's not like she did anything wrong.
I think they're trying to make a point here to where I think they're really trying to, in Station 19, address sexual assault.
Yeah.
And the problems in the world with it. And sadly, this stuff does happen in real life.
I know.
And that's why some women and girls are too afraid to step forward and try to go after their attacker, is because you're going to get asked, where were you? What were you doing? What were you wearing? I mean,
how much did you have to drink?
How much did you have to drink?
Does it matter? Like, and none of that matters. It makes, I mean, I was yelling at
it's like whether it's a lot or none at all, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Or at least it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
And just like Karina said, even if you gave consent, you can take consent away at any time.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I love Karina any episode.
Yeah, she can do no wrong.
But oh my gosh, this episode just had me little hard eyes the whole time.
Yeah.
Agreed. I love her more and more each episode.
I do too. Is she just off Grace?
I think she's just Station 19. I mean, she was on there the other day, I guess, a little bit, right?
She's on a little bit because, you know, because Joe's working under her. But I think
I never see her.
I feel like we're mostly just seeing her on Station 19. So,
yeah.
But I don't really care. I'm glad we get her somewhere. Yeah. I don't care where it is.
I prefer it on Station 19 because I feel like she can shine better there. She's like,
I'm enjoying her on Station 19.
Yeah.
And I know we don't have it written down or anything, but when Robert goes in and he's the one who break the news to her, that was, you don't really get to see like too many sweet moments between them two. And it wasn't, I'm not saying it was a sweet moment.
Yeah.
But it was the way he did it, the way he approached her and sat with her and comforted her. It was nice to see.
Oh, it was really nice. The other moment I loved was, well, there was a couple moments. I got to give it up to Beckett this episode when the homicide cops were investigating and were he stood up for her, and I was really happy that he did that and told them to get out, you know, and then come back like another time.
I actually cheered for Beckett this episode. Yep. I didn't think it would ever happen, but
for a minute
it did.
Yeah, I mean, it won't last. It won't last
for a couple seconds, and then I went back to I don't really like this guy.
Yeah, I had whiplash this episode.
I mean, I think he actually likes Andy. I think he did before, so I think that has something to do with it too. Plus, I don't think he's a horrible guy. He's just, I don't know.
He's messed up.
He's got a heart there somewhere underneath all that, you know.
He does. Yeah, he does. Okay, before we go too far though, I do want to talk about Travis and Theo coming in to protect Andy.
Oh, well, I was mad at that for a minute. Like, I was like, why are we laughing? Like, I felt like it was maybe I'm weird. I felt like it was an out of place moment. Like, I felt like, who would act like that? Like, drunk or not? Like,
I know. It really confused me too. And then when she started laughing, I laughed.
I was okay.
But I was just like, it was a little uncomfortable at first.
And
it was a little bit uncomfortable when it went on a little bit too long. I feel like we should have had less of that.
Yeah.
I think it was a funny moment. I'm not saying that it shouldn't have been there, because we did kind of need the comedic relief because it was such a heavy thing.
Well, what I was really hoping is I wanted to see Theo, because I mean, in my head, like, here, those two were friends. They were the closest, like, at the other station. And I'm not saying, it's not his fault, obviously, it's only Jeremy's fault, but
yes,
everything that blew up and him leaving her there in her intoxicated state, I already thought was wrong. I didn't get to talk about this with you all last week.
Yeah.
So it bugged me that we didn't get to see him feel some sort of remorse and like,
well, he did.
It just didn't. I expected more from it, I guess, and then it didn't happen.
I mean, he didn't say anything to Andy, but I mean, he did tell. I don't remember who it was.
Maybe Vic. I don't remember.
Probably Vic. How he felt guilty that he left.
I think it was Vic. I was thinking it was Andy, but it wasn't Andy. It was Vic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Vic. And then, of course, then she breaks down, which that was the moment that I lost it because, but then when she went in there and Jack went and held her, I was like,
oh my gosh,
I want more of their friendship. Like, I forgot how much I love, like, just their friendship, any sort of relationship they've ever had. I just like, I don't know. I like them together I don't think I'd ever want them romantically together again, but
yeah.
I'm glad that he's the one that went in there to comfort her because I felt like he was the right person to go do that.
I like Jack's friendship with everyone, really, like all the women.
I just love Jack, which is basically what it boils down to.
I just love Jack by himself. If we want to do a Jack-centered episode, that would be okay with me.
Yes, please.
I can do that.
Please.
But yeah, it was really when he crawled to bed with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly the whole station started trickling into the room. I was like, oh, sleepover.
Yeah.
But then I felt bad because I was like, oh, no, it's not fun.
It's not fun.
It's like, it's not fun times, but it was very sweet.
It was just a wholehearted, good, sweet little moment in the middle of a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and those are real life moments that happens in real life. You have those little moments to where even in the middle of a tragedy, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to get mad, you're going to have all the emotions because that's normal.
Yeah.
Absolutely normal. But
agreed.
So the next day they came back with a warrant. I was so mad, guys. I was so mad.
Yeah. I don't know.
I paused my TV for a minute and had to walk away.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but
I mean, I get it. Yeah. They didn't handcuff her. They were at least.
I mean, I guess
I don't know. I mean, don't know. She has to be taken down. She has to be. I mean, this is a guy that she has killed. I mean, she's going to have to step foot in a police station. I mean,
I know.
It's common sense. I mean, it's going to have to happen, but it was still just emotional seeing it happen. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I need a break.
Yeah. That was tough.
And then it was over.
Circling back to Beckett, I mean, I did cheer for him for a couple seconds, but it looks like we're still back to the whole Beckett Sullivan clash of the year, whatever you want to call it.
Wasn't this a fun conversation?
Oh, so exciting.
Yeah.
I found it awkward, to be honest. Like,
it was cringy.
You guys are going through and my thing is, okay, Beckett did good this week for a little bit, but you guys are going through what you're going through. You can't wait and do the
I'm better than you dance.
Yeah, like next time or like after this stuff is over, like you really have to have this conversation now when his ex-wife just got assaulted and he's going through all the emotions too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's Beckett, so he has to do it right now.
I don't even know why that was in this episode. I did not like that we had to even turn our attention to these.
I wanted it to, I wanted to be just a purely like Andy centered episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was very confused that we went to, a storyline that had nothing to do with her.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, just like what Beckett said, they're having a pissing contest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Even though like Beckett has essentially for now been cleared of any wrongdoings here, is never going to work with him continuing to be captain of that station because, I mean, it's not even just Sullivan. I mean, Maya too. Like neither one of them respect him in any kind of way.
No, I don't think anybody does.
And I just don't think it's going to work anymore. So they're going to have to do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if no one respects you, that's not on them.
Right.
You have to be someone
respectable.
Who's worth respecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Right now, I have a lot more respect for Robert than I do Beckett. So.
Oh yeah.
And that's just because I know Sullivan can be tough, but we at least know he has a heart.
He's the one.
I just don't know.
I mean, as far as I know, I just have to throw this real quick in here because you all were talking about it last week. mean, as far as Maya, like, I mean, I'd be cool with Andy being the new captain of 19, but if it's between Maya and Sullivan, Sullivan is way more qualified and the better man for the job. I mean, in my opinion.
He is.
I mean, he's good at what he does. I mean, he may have his jerk moments. And the only reason he got taken off of it was simply because of his own addictions, that he had trouble with that. I mean, otherwise he would still be doing the same thing.
Yeah. And I did not really like that I felt like he threatened Beckett. Like that to me was almost, I don't want to say a death threat, but it was pretty freaking close.
Yeah.
I'm trained to know people. When I looked into that snipe, like I was like, okay, I feel like that just went over a little bit, that I just don't know why we're going there.
I don't want to see this because I mean, I've gone back and forth on how I feel about Sullivan so many times that I'm to a point where I like him and I enjoy his character. I don't want this Beckett storyline to ruin that for me and take me back to not liking him anymore. So I'd rather just get rid of Beckett and let's move on.
Yeah, I agree.
See, I didn't see it as a threat. I saw it as Beckett kind of like started it, and then like Beckett was basically saying he's in it for the long haul for this like argument or feud or whatever you want to call it. And Robert's basically saying that he's been trained to study people and he's going to know what's coming before it actually comes. Like, I didn't really take it as a threat. I more took it as like, I'm going to know what you're doing before you even know what you're doing type of thing.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
I see that too.
I think it's just both of them. They're just fluffing their feathers and like it's annoying and I don't want to see that. I mean, like they're peacocking around each other.
Peacocking.
Like,
thank you. Oh my gosh. I've been trying to think about the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're doing. They're just trying to like, I don't know.
Yes, they are. That is exactly what I was thinking. They are peacocking around each other.
Maybe they can just continue peacocking around each other over there in the corner, and then they can just make Maya captain. And the two
Andy,
of them keep going at
Andy instead of Maya. Sorry. I don't love Maya. I don't think she's got leadership. I don't know. I don't think she's got the leadership qualities, in my opinion. But Andy, though, I think so.
Andy, yes.
So, based off of what I've seen thus far, now we know I haven't seen when Maya was captain before, but it seems like Maya's way too emotional for that.
That's what it is. She takes things way too personally, in my opinion. Like
I feel the same way.
Yeah. Maybe motherhood will somehow help her overcome that, and like we'll see how that goes. But for now, I'd say no. I mean, like if you look at like her reaction to not being promoted here and all the things that have happened versus how Andy handled it pretty gracefully when she was completely jumped over for this. It's a totally different reaction.
Maya's pretty much throwing a temper tantrum. I mean, she straight up disrespected Robert.
Yeah.
She, I mean, without stomping her foot, pretty much stomped her foot and said, this isn't fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and even based off of how I've seen her react with Karina sometimes when she's upset, like, it just seems like she's way too emotional for the job.
Yeah, she's just she's just a really passionate person, and I just don't know that it's the right fit.
Well, she has her past that kind of haunts her. So, I mean, that gets a lot.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Maya, let's get into Maya and Karina, because not everything bad happened this week. There was at least one good thing that came out of it.
One tiny little bright light.
I gotta brag because I wasn't here last week, and I know y'all bragged for me, but I called it. And they want Jack to be their donor, and I am so happy for this.
Mm-hmm.
His reaction to their request was hilarious. I mean, it's so Jack. He was just like, "Wait, what? Like, you want my sperm?" Like, and I think I know we haven't got to hear him say yes because they got interrupted by Andy or whatever. But
yeah,
I think he will. What do you all think?
He did say yes.
Did he say officially yes? Okay.
He did at the end.
Towards the end.
Okay. Well, there we go.
I love how I love how they're stammering around it, and Jack's just like, yeah.
What?
What is this?
Yeah.
What am I getting into?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I liked too was that he said that he wanted to be in the baby's life.
Mhm.
Like that was one of his stipulations.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, yeah, we want you to be. That's why we want to know who it is.
Mhm.
Which I absolutely loved. I mean, that goes back to me saying before too that this is going to be a firehouse baby, just like what Prue is.
Well, and he's so good with kids. Like this is going to be really awesome to see. Which I don't think you all have probably seen this, but his girlfriend that he had prior to this was, I mean, she had a little boy who was deaf, and that's sort of how they bonded because Jack's younger sister, right, Eve, his younger foster sister was also deaf.
His foster sister was deaf,
and
so
there
he was proficient in ASL.
Mm-hmm. But he was so good with him, and that was the only part of that relationship ending that actually made me sad. I didn't really like Inara all that much, but I liked his relationship with him.
I think the problem with that relationship is that he was more being a father figure for her kid.
Yeah.
And less into being in a relationship with her. Like he was really just in it for the kid, and that's why it didn't work. So I'm glad that we're going this route, so we still get to see him with the kid.
Yeah.
This will be cool, I think.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So we're not even getting back till May 5th, which that's kind of a bummer, but that preview.
We'll have 5 more episodes.
Is that right?
I think I saw Kevin McKidd talking this morning. I think he was actually talking yesterday to somebody in one of the comments, and they're like, they're like, I can't believe we're only getting 18 episodes this season. And Kevin commented, he goes, there's gonna be 20.
Okay.
So I'm guessing 5 more because we're on 15, so 5 more.
Yeah.
So because I think the end date, it's gonna be May 26th ish, around that time.
Okay.
May 28th, I think, is is like the season finale.
Cool.
Don't quote me on that, but
it would be May 26th because they air on Thursdays.
Yeah, it's 28th. Am I on the wrong month?
You are May 27th is my last day of school, and that's a Friday.
Oh, it is 26. So I was right at first. Yeah, 26. I was looking at April.
And the good thing is too with that, I know we're not there yet, but Grey's Anatomy has a 2-hour season finale.
Yes. Is it Grey's Anatomy with the 2-hour finale, or is that going to be Station 19 and Grey's crossover?
No, it's Station 19, and then Grey's Anatomy has 2 hours.
Okay. Oh gosh, somebody's gonna die.
You know they're going to.
Who are they gonna kill? There's no one left to kill that we like.
Trust me, they'll find somebody.
There's somebody. There's somebody.
Let's all prepare ourselves for the worst, okay? If they kill off Nick and crush Meredith again.
Oh my God.
Krista, now don't do it.
I mean, there's not one good person. There's not one good person that I'm like, okay, you can kill them. Like, I don't want them to kill anybody.
I'm trying to think. I'm desperately seriously trying to think who they can kill.
The new plastic surgeon, they can kill her.
We've seen her 2 times this season, which still irritates the heck out of me that we thought she was going to be so much bigger than she is. And we've seen her like twice and she doesn't cause any problems, which I mean, I guess not going to look good, but I actually thought she might be the resident, the one who called in like the residency problems.
I mean, she still might be. Well, no, I guess we know. Let's not get there yet.
But that thought went through my mind.
Yeah.
All right. So
that preview off Station 19.
Yes.
Ooh.
So it looks like Andy's in court, and she then she's in the car with Chief Ross, and she says something along the lines of that she can't believe that they're being so hard on her. It's not like I stole something. And Chief Ross is like, yeah, you killed somebody, which I don't know. Like that to me was a little insensitive.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that that's what it is.
As a woman.
Yeah. Like I know that that's what it is, but that seemed a little insensitive in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more context to that. Like, because sometimes they do that. Maybe there's more to that conversation because it seems strange that she would be like that from what we've seen so far, I think.
And then the other thing is too, her mom looks like she comes.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Andy's mom comes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's back on again.
That explains why we had so many flashbacks of her mom.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because they're bringing her back.
Yeah, and Andy looks very surprised.
Yeah.
Has her relationship with her mom been rocky?
Oh yeah, like she left like I don't know, like up until a couple years ago, Eve, like she hadn't seen her since she was like small.
Pruitt told her she was dead.
Yeah.
And then she finally, I forget because Andy uncovered all of this information, and her aunt and her cousin eventually came out and told her that, your mom's alive. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't received well by it. She was thrilled to have her aunt and her cousin like back in her life again. But I think she basically told her mom she wants nothing to do with her.
Because she just disappeared on her, like, and just let her believe. I mean,
but it feels like there was a reason there.
It was her dad's decision.
She disappeared. Like, she walked out on them, and then she told Pruitt, tell her whatever you want. So he told Andy that her mother was dead.
Probably, I think, because he thought that would be easier than knowing that your mom just up and left you and didn't want to see you anymore.
I feel like there's way more behind that, because the phone calls that we got with like this past episode, it seemed like she was kind of being pushed to where she knew she was going to have to leave.
She was very unhappy in their marriage. I think Pruitt wanted her because she was a firefighter. Her mother was.
Yeah, before she had Andy, right?
Yeah, and then Pruitt, like, she wanted to go back to firefighting, and Pruitt basically told her no. And then I think things just started breaking down.
Yeah. So, all right, well, I guess we'll see next week, or no, May 5th.
May 5th.
Don't get too excited.
I know. All right, so we are going to hop into Grey's Anatomy, episode 15, just like Station 19. Shelby, do you want to start us off talking about our boy?
Yeah, Levi. I was so happy to see him this week.
I was too for a minute.
Just say, can I just say, I know we talked about this a little bit in Station 19. Helm is easily becoming one of my favorite residents of this class.
Oh yeah, yes. She's been my favorite. Call it. She's been my favorite resident for a while now. Like, I know I love Levi too, but that's been your all's Helm. I've loved her for a really long time. So
no, she's in my number one spot right now. I really after this past week in Station 19 and Grey's, it's just, I feel like they're giving her more and more. Yeah. Now I feel like we're seeing her like more and more, and I love it. I'm here for it. Yeah. Keep it coming.
Agreed.
Yeah, I hope that they make her like an actual like regular.
I know. She's still a guest
star.
Yeah. I'm sort of ready for this group to be attendings, because I feel like they've been residents for a really long time.
I feel like they have.
Hasn't it been a really long time? Like,
yes.
I don't know. I'm ready for them to be attendings. Like,
I think, or didn't they get like pushed behind because of COVID?
Probably, but man, let's speed it up.
Yeah, they need to move this along. Like,
yeah.
You guys need doctors. Just make them doctors.
Come on. Well, obviously somebody's not ready to be a doctor yet.
Maybe not all of them. Some of them.
Let's not rush on Levi here.
So we start off in Levi's basement, or his house, his mom's house, his basement apartment. And so Helm comes in and throws mail at him, and he thinks it's his mom, and then he's not happy when it's actually Helm. And apparently he's just been living, I laughed. And apparently he's just been living in a box because he doesn't know what's all going on with Grace Sloan. He doesn't know what's being said about them on the internet and stuff, which I was kind of surprised about.
I'm not. I feel like he's
depressed. He's just playing video games all day. He's not paying attention to anything.
He's not looking at the news.
He made it clear he wants nothing to do with Grace Sloan, so I'm not surprised he wasn't, keeping up to date with the goings on, with what was going on over there. So
yeah,
but he kind of made it known this episode now, though, with his mom. I mean, him and his mom were fighting because he found out that she's the one that was doing it, which he didn't tip off to Helm that it was her. but he found out that it was her that was making these tweets or posts or whatever it was. And then she comes downstairs and he's like yelling at her, talking about, you can't talk about my workplace like that. Excuse you, but you haven't been there for how long? Who was supposed to know that's still your workplace?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was still your workplace.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what his mom said too. She was like, your workplace? You haven't been there in weeks or months or however long it's been. I would like to say months.
So are we saying that his mom is the only one that's made any complaints? Because I'm surprised that it got escalated as far. Okay.
There's more.
Like, okay.
Yeah, there
They said multiple. They said multiple complaints. So I'm guessing they've gotten complaints from different people.
So it still could be the plastics lady. She could.
I think most of it, the reason it got all riled up is because of Levi's mom.
Yeah. I
think she's been like just constantly,
because you
got it all riled up.
That you would take that much if it was just someone whose son was obviously involved in this, that wouldn't be held with nearly as much weight as like something else, I would think. I don't know. Like, because obviously she's bitter about I would look at it that way, like, okay, lady, like I know you got a personal stake in this, so I'm not sure I'm gonna take just your word for it.
But it's just a screen name, so they might not know it's her.
Well, there were official complaints though, right? Isn't that what they said in the last episode?
You broke up. I couldn't hear you.
I said there were official complaints though too, not just like the tweets. Like there was.
Yes, there was official complaints, and that was also from Levi's mom though.
Yeah.
At least a little bit. I don't know if all of them. I think there's other people. I think there'd have to be, or I don't think it would have escalated like it did, because I don't think from one person making multiple complaints about the same situation really would cause you to have to come in and be investigated. Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. But so Helm tells Levi about the board coming and pretty much tells him that if he cares anything about her, to get his butt up and go to work.
Yep.
Which I don't think he would have did if it wasn't for the accident that happened. I think he would have stayed in his little basement bubble.
I don't know.
I think he was heading that way.
I think you think so?
I did
too.
Because
he got real upset. I think he was headed. He was going to come in.
Yeah.
I think the accident with his mom kind of pushed it along a little, so he got there faster than he would have. But I think he was starting to turn a corner. I think that his turning of a corner just got smashed back down. I don't know how much more they can do to this poor man. He was already like feeling T90, and then he finally got a little bit of growth, and all of a sudden they're like, and your mom falls down a flight of stairs. Like, what is that?
But he was able to basically save her. So maybe that will be the push that this is what I'm supposed to do. And I need to get back out there.
I'm hoping so. He was scared though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Can we talk about how graphic that fall down the steps was though?
Ooh.
Okay, I was watching it. Her neck went
down
that had to be a stunt double who did that, obviously.
Or a dummy or something. Like, I don't think it could have been like the actual fall. I mean, it had to be something.
Yeah. But that was like, really well done.
Yeah, I was watching it and like her neck literally like went that way. Like it was crazy.
It was highly unpleasant to watch for sure.
It was.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Of course you did.
A little strange, but not sure if enjoy is the word I would use.
I mean, for Shelby, no, that's not a strange thing to say.
Sure.
I mean,
pretty much true crime.
Hey, it is what it is.
So Levi then calls 911, but then I like that he just hung up on him.
Why were they so slow? Like, I don't get it.
They were very slow. And then he calls Richard right in the middle of his assessment, by the way. And I love that he just dropped everything he was doing. Did not hesitate at all.
Nope.
To go and help Levi. I mean, it just shows you again how much I love
that
man.
shows.
Well, even with Kai saying that that shows a lack of judgment, I'm like, excuse you.
It shows not a lack of judgment. I mean, it shows that his students are important to him, and that's that he's going to go above and beyond to help them. I think it shows the opposite.
Yeah, I thought it was a
Harry
weird.
can shut up though. Like we know how we all feel about them. So just my opinion. That's me.
But then when they get to the hospital, poor Levi, he's in the back of the ambulance with his mother, and he has a complete breakdown with Richard. And kudos to the actor, guys.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Throughout so much of this happening, probably I feel like this season has been outstanding for Jake. Jake Burley?
I couldn't think of his name, so I'm glad you did.
Jake Burley. I was like, oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Why can I not think of it? Jake Burley. I mean, yes. Round of applause to this man, because I feel like all season he's been amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been happy with him all season, but good acting.
But I mean, it can't be easy to play this type of character at this point. I mean, he's had such a hard come down. Like, he was doing so good. He was at the top of his class, and now, you know, like he's like plummeted to the bottom. I mean,
yeah.
And his breakdown with Richard this week, I mean, I felt for him. Like, he was like, it's my fault that this is all happening, because not only did I mess up on the surgery, but my mom's the one making the complaints too, which I'm sure made him feel even more crappy than what he already did.
Yeah.
And then they pan around and there's that woman standing there listening to everything. I was like, oh my gosh.
All right.
That woman.
Great. These people.
Yeah. But speaking of Richard, he had his evaluation this week with Dr. Hamilton and Kai. I was so surprised that Dr. Hamilton was the one doing it.
But I liked it.
Yeah. I mean,
it was a surprise for me.
Yeah, I was surprised at first. I was like, Hamilton, but then when he explained that, you know, he would be able to be what's the word? Unbiased.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, that's actually pretty perfect then. Because
I mean, even the whole thing.
The two of them, obviously, I guess we'll talk about a little later, but the two of them aren't the best of friends. So, I mean, it was actually the perfect choice to have him do those tests. Those tests look like so much fun. By the way, I was like, I want to play.
There's our
kindergarten. Here, I'm getting all stressed out. I'm like, oh man.
Oh no, the kindergarten teacher over here is like, I want to play. There were a couple of them I wanted to play, like the one where you had to push all the buttons.
That
would lighten up.
That looked fun.
That made me think of, because in Disney World, that's what on the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, I was the engineer, and that was our job. When something broke, you had to smash the buttons that were lighting up. I was pretty good at it. So
it reminded me like whack-a-mole.
Yes.
Like, you know, you gotta try to be fast and get them. I was like, that one did look really fun. And also the one where he was standing on the.
That one had me stressed out because I'm not coordinated. So like I felt like that would not go well.
Oh, I definitely would have fallen and like hurt myself, but I would have had a lot of fun before that part happened.
It was fun.
Yeah. I wish I should be a surgeon so that I can take all of those fun little assessments.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like, okay, never mind. I'm not interested in being a surgeon. I had fun though.
Yep. All right.
I'm still a little bit not really under a lot of pressure, but I was still kind of annoyed that, you know, she's so annoyed with Richard for getting this assessment done. Like, really, he needs it. Like, he's being responsible.
Yeah. This is going to look better for these people coming today, for him, that he's actually, I think Richard did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah.
And I think he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew he needed the evaluation. And I mean, yeah, he didn't make it for this day, but oh no.
We lost her train of thought.
I'm proud of him for doing it, because a lot of other surgeons would have let it get, you know, bad and would have had to be taken off the schedule. And then he would have been forced to do these exams. The fact that he was putting himself through it is, you know, good on him. So I thought it was, did you guys think it was a little much that who brought up the job offer? Was that Kai and Hamilton who brought up Meredith's job offer, or was that Richard who brought it up?
Hamilton did it on purpose. You can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah. He was just trying to get him riled up.
Mm-hmm.
At first I was like, well, that's kind of rude. Why would he do that? But I mean, I get it. It's another, surgeons have things thrown at them all the time. Like, he needs to be focused. So
yeah. I think it was his way of, it was part of the test, but it was also like a way of like, let's get that out there and get the ball rolling on making Meredith make her decision.
2 birds with 1 stone kind of deal.
I think so.
So we'll have to edit this out, but I have a screenshot of what Bailey's little speech was to Meredith, and I want to read it like in the Bailey section next, because I want to see what you guys' opinion was on it.
Okay.
I was very displeased with it, but we'll talk.
I have a lot of things to say about Meredith this week, so
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Hamilton and them. So when Kai. So
Kai.
when
say like that.
Kai. So when Richard walks out to take his phone call from Levi, he basically walked out with no explanation or anything. He just dipped out.
Yeah.
So Kai goes to Amelia and asks Amelia if she thought that Richard had dementia, which I don't know how those correlate at all.
She said dementia or an alcoholic. And I was like, oh
no. Like, oh, well, yeah, there's that.
But maybe Amelia was just so no.
Yeah, I mean, maybe both of those can impair your judgment.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's where she was going with that. Or I'm sorry, they were going with that.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Amelia, yeah, she's like, no, not the case.
Yeah.
And then little Levi, he really does stand up for Richard and talks to Hamilton. I guess that was kind of like a little, I think they included that like into the test.
Yeah.
To kind of get an outside perspective, and Levi just sang his praises. I'm so happy about it. I liked that little part. And then Richard.
I mean, even after everything Levi's been through, he still jumped right to defending Richard. So,
yeah. I mean, Richard's been there for him, and Levi has to see that. I mean, he's been going to his house. He's been calling. You saw Levi's call log. It was a whole bunch of red Richard Webbers. Like, Richard's been calling him, it looks like multiple times every day.
Yeah.
So he hasn't given up on him, and he's really trying to push him and get him to come back. And he knows Richard sees that Levi could be a good doctor.
Yeah. And I mean, Richard might feel a little bit guilty too, because it was his method that made Levi spiral. I mean, it was Levi's fault. It was definitely Levi's fault. I'm not taking that away. But the fact that it was Richard's like idea of how to do things is what made that happen. I mean, I'm sure he feels a little bit guilty too. But honestly, if Levi wouldn't have, talked to them and, explain things, I think I would have been mad at Levi for not doing that, or for them not showing that, because I think that definitely needed to be done.
Yeah.
Especially because he left on Levi's behalf.
Absolutely.
And he ended up passing, which is going to be fabulous news for Bailey, the short surgeons.
Yeah, poor Bailey. She's struggling.
Yeah, she was very stressed out this week. She had a lot on her plate.
So the whole episode, Bailey was on the verge of a heart attack. By the way, I was so scared for this woman.
Me too.
I'm going to say something completely off script right now. I mean, we're not scripted, but I really do think Meredith's going to have to be chief. And I think that's the only way she's going to end up staying at Grace Sloan. I think Bailey's going to say, I got to step down, because I feel like this is getting to be too much for her. I feel like she's having too much. And this, I mean, I'm just putting this out in the universe, Krista. I think Meredith should be chief. I think she's earned it. She's old enough now.
Yeah.
She's been through it. She would know. I think she would be a fine chief.
And she wants to, though, based off of her conversation with Nick, which we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think that she wants to do that. She does not want to be there.
And I think it's because there's so many bad memories there for her. And it's hard to like disagree with that, I guess. Because I understand, but also I understand Bailey as well. And I'm kind of feel like I'm stuck in between them right now.
I mean, Bailey's in a bad spot.
But see,
and the reality is that she has giving Meredith so much like liberties this past year. She really has.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, like, I don't like exactly how Bailey spoke to Meredith in this episode.
No.
But I understand where she's coming from.
Yeah. I have her little speech here.
Yeah. Can you read that for us?
Yeah, hold on, let me get it. Because I was very upset with her.
Bailey?
Yes.
I wasn't very upset with her. I was just
understood
in her.
I didn't like how she spoke to her, but I also understand her anger.
She had a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Okay, so her little speech, or whatever you want to call it. Dr. Bailey said, "You let me hug you. You're taking that job in Minnesota and you couldn't even tell me yourself. Couldn't give me that much respect. This program raised you. I raised you, taught you all that you know, then made all the concessions that you needed so that you could split your time between here and David Hamilton. And then even with all of that, you'd be so selfish as to leave in the middle of a historic physician shortage with the residency program hanging on by a thread." And then this is where I got mad at her. "Yeah, no, you're that girl, huh? That same little girl that's following her handsome attending all around the hospital, right? Breaking all the rules, having sex in cars. No one and nobody else matters. It doesn't matter that he's your boss, not that he's already married." That part didn't need to be said.
Agreed.
I completely agree with that. The ending, I feel like she took it too far. She should have stopped.
She was just on a roll. She was just rambling and
yeah. I mean, it happens. I can't like truly be mad at Bailey for it.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean, Bailey had a right to be upset and angry. You know, she's under a lot of stress because of a lot of different factors. I mean, her personal life, several different things going on at the hospital. So I get that part. But I mean, the last few parts of that speech definitely were unwarranted.
Agreed. I mean, I completely agree.
We still love you
to sit there and watch.
Mm-hmm.
And
we love you.
The woman fell on the floor. I thought she had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a panic attack. Like when I saw it, I was like, is she having a panic attack?
Well, she just kept grabbing her heart. And I was like, oh man, well, she's had a heart attack before. So, I mean, it's hard to trust.
Yeah, I thought it was a heart attack again.
And they're due to kill someone apparently. So
they can't kill Bailey.
they can't.
Off the tables.
Surely that would never. I mean, I would really think that would never happen.
That would be like them killing Meredith at this point.
I think I'd rather them kill Meredith than Bailey. That's a tough statement, but I really think
then we can make it Bailey's Anatomy and it'll be great.
You can't take Bailey.
Gray Sloan Memorial Hospital. So.
She's like the one person, in my opinion, that cannot go.
Yeah, no, you can't kill Bailey. Like I think that would honestly bring down viewership.
No one would recover from that.
No, they couldn't. Yeah. So get that thought out of your minds.
So the other thing is too, Nick didn't even, we'll talk about Meredith and Nick then, but Nick didn't even know that Derek was married. So like Bailey saying all that, then like all Nick had to say was your ex-husband was married.
I mean, which is none of I'm sorry, but it's none of Bailey's business. It is none of Nick's business.
It's none of Nick's business because that happened way before them.
Yeah, it's none of his business at all. Mm-hmm. I understand. I mean, I keep saying I understand. I understand. Like I understand where everybody was coming from in this episode.
Yeah.
But it was just irritating to watch.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
I agree.
Yeah.
What do you all think is going to happen with like the internship program? Because now they're on the residency program. They're on probation.
I think they'll be fine.
I'm just hoping this means that we're gonna have to hire a bunch of new hot doctors that I can fall in love with.
I think
That's what I think.
we're bringing, I don't know. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll have some new doctors come in. I think there's rumors that Arizona's coming back. I mean, I don't think she's coming back full time. I think that would have already been announced.
Yeah.
But I mean, it hasn't been announced that she is coming back, but we've seen behind the scene photos of her there. So she could be visiting. She could be on set. We don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. But I don't know. I think they'll find doctors. I think they have 2 weeks?
I thought it was 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months.
3 months? Oh, I thought it was weeks.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh, 3 weeks.
It was 3 months.
At all.
3 months. I mean, yeah, that makes more sense in my head because I was thinking that shouldn't be that big of a problem. I mean, I know they're in a doctor shortage, but
yeah, I mean, maybe the rest of this season is their struggle to try to figure it out. And maybe that'll be the cliffhanger of whether we're keeping the program or not. Maybe it won't be a person dying. It'll be
the residency program.
It'll be the residency program.
Which would be better. Like, let's, I mean, I don't know. Because we know there's another season. So obviously the residency program is going to survive.
Well, I mean, is there? Because we don't really concentrate on the residents. I mean, we do, but we don't at the same time.
I feel like it would be weird to have another season of Grey's Anatomy without the residents because it's such a, I don't know. I just think it would be weird.
I don't know. I think they would, like, I don't watch it for them. Like, I don't watch it for the residency program. So I feel like if they did take away the residency program, which I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a fix. I don't see him doing it, but I think I wouldn't be that hurt over it.
No.
I mean, since our people, I mean, everyone we love.
Well, not everyone.
I don't know. What about Helm
Perez
and Levi? We need to know, like, when is their time up?
He said he was a 4th year, so he's still got a whole year of residency left. They all do.
This has been more than freaking 4 years, y'all.
I mean, isn't that what he said? Didn't he say call himself a 4th year?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This has been over. I mean, Meredith was in a coma for how long?
It seems like 5 years, but I don't know.
5 years sounds about right.
So we didn't even talk about the little Richard. Richard got interviewed by them, and I loved his speech, by the way, to hit the board. I mean, he knew. I was just so proud the entire time he was talking to them.
Of all of that, I was like, oh my gosh, those were the good old days.
I know. I might have restarted already.
Well, I don't have time for that. I'm doing too much as it is.
Grey's is like my show I put on when I'm doing stuff around the house because I don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
I know what's happening on the screen.
Yeah.
So I did. I really enjoyed the little flashbacks.
I enjoyed them interviewing all of the attendings, actually. Yeah. I mean, when they were interrogating Jo, I mean, with her changing her stuff and everything, how many times they were going hard on her, and her answers were like on point, but like,
oh my gosh, I was impressed.
I mean, like,
oh yeah, she was like, I don't know any of this. I'm in charge here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And freaking Teddy hates like confrontation, I think.
Yeah.
Teddy's like
me.
Boss.
That's me when somebody comes and tries to like, I can't do this. No.
Because they were talking about Owen and she knows she has a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone love Lynx though? And it got to talking about now I'm living in an unfurnished apartment. What was
heartbroken? Yeah.
Like,
they were cracking me up.
It was funny for sure.
I was like, this is funny, but come on, guys, it's the residency program. Let's
stay on track.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Stay focused.
Yeah. And I think they were all under so much pressure too, because Bailey was standing right there. They had that board meeting at the beginning where Bailey basically told them, like, you can't screw this up or the residency program is going to be gone. So they're under a lot of pressure with that. And then Bailey's standing right there. So, like, to me, if I was that lady, like, I'd feel like what they were saying was kind of scripted in a way. Because it sounded very scripted. I mean, obviously, because it's a TV show, but I mean, like,
Well, I'd say a lot of times, like, I mean, I think she even said to Bailey, I mean, a lot of times when they know you're coming, I'm sure the staff is prepped on what you need to be saying to these people, you know?
Yeah. They know that. They're not stupid.
Yeah.
But so Meredith and Nick had a very interesting case this week, by the way.
This was kind of wild. When they were
came out of left field.
Doing, I was like, no, wait, what? Is this like really something like people are thinking about doing? Like, I don't know. It seems strange, but pretty cool. So what was it, like a pig's kidney that they were going to put in this brain dead guy as like an experiment to see if this could work, if he could survive it. And I mean, pretty cool. Like, to be honest.
Actually, fun fact, pigs' organs are the closest to humans.
Yep,
that's why they experiment on pigs a lot. And chicken skin is the closest to human skin.
That just grosses
me. We learned that in nursing school. Sorry. We had
That's
to
okay. Gross thought.
We had to all I can think of is scalpel. We had to work on a chicken leg.
Ew.
Like when we were learning like the tendons and stuff, because it was the closest to a human's anatomy.
Yeah, no, so I mean, they implanted this pig kidney, and surprisingly it worked, which I think, you know, we were all nervous about for a while. But
yeah, I mean, it was a touch and go. They kept going back and forth, and that the patient's wife, her and Nick's little embrace, I didn't know quite why Meredith sat there and looked at him like that. That kind of made me a little bit like, what does she think? Like, is she jealous or something? Because that's not appropriate, but maybe
I thought that
he was just having flashbacks.
I took it that she was just impressed with how he was speaking to her and handled the situation. That's how I saw it.
I actually saw her seeing herself in the woman's position, like thinking about Derek.
At the end, I did. Now, whenever she went in, like they let her in to see her husband, and she was standing over the bed.
Yeah,
I really, it was a good parallel because she's sitting there. I mean, she was sitting there crying. She was thinking about Derek in that moment, which I don't know.
How do you
know? It was a good, sweet moment, and I liked it. I just didn't like what she said right after it was, "I'm taking the job and I'm moving to Minnesota." I was like, oh my gosh.
Can I just say though, okay, I know I've been up in the air about Nick, about one, him being real to begin with, and two, like just up in the air with him as a person, period. But I love his interaction with his patients, like how he treats his transplant victims or transplant people or whatever, and like he literally says thank you to them because they're dead. I mean, they're dead. But he has so much respect for them and so much respect for the family. And I just admire that.
I do too. I was actually going to say that before you did. Yeah. I mean, I love that he thanks them like that.
I think that's because they want us to like Nick. And that's a good way to get us to like Nick. I mean, that's a real way. That's awesome of them. And I think as weeks go by, I'm liking him more and more and more. I mean, he can never replace Derek to me. I know you guys are not Derek fans, but he could never replace Derek in my eyes.
Yeah.
But I like him, and I like that. I mean, I mean, he's good with the kids. He's raised a niece that, I mean, he's a good person, I feel like. And that's what Meredith needs. A stable person who's halfway level-headed.
Yeah. You know, and this is why, I mean, I know this is awful. I almost wish we had not announced another season of Grey's Anatomy, because I wouldn't mind to see Meredith get to have a fresh start with Nick somewhere else if that's what she wants. But I don't know how we do that moving forward with another season.
Yeah, I don't know.
I sort of, I mean, I sort of wish we weren't having another season just so that she could do this. I know that's awful, but I mean,
No, I get it. Because I just don't know. Maybe Nick decides to move here because they're in so much of a physician shortage.
But she said that she wanted to have a fresh start. How is she going to come back from that? I mean,
yeah, but maybe if she sees that Grace Sloan is literally losing the residency program, they're going down. I mean, she knows this and she's still going Minnesota. I don't know. I think she's pretty gun-ho on going, but
I don't
something
know how
has
they're
to
gonna
happen.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna fix this storyline, to be honest. I don't know what we're gonna do.
I don't know. I guess they have a plan. I guess we'll have to just be patient and see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing is too, like what Meredith said to Nick about wanting a fresh start and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally how Ellen Pompeo feels about Grey's Anatomy, period.
Yeah.
She's said in interviews that she's been doing this for how many years and she wants a fresh start and she wants to be able to do something else.
So she doesn't want to act after Grey's Anatomy now. She's already said, I don't want to act anymore. I'm retiring. After Grey's Anatomy's over, I'm retiring.
Is there any chance
really?
she's not going to come back next season, but we're still going to have one? Is there any chance of that? Because I
don't
feel
think
like
so.
that's
I think she's already saying.
Okay.
I
didn't know.
think. I mean, like again, don't quote me on that.
I don't know if Krista would go on with Grey's Anatomy without Ellen Pompeo.
Shonda always said that when Ellen was ready to leave, that's when they will end the show.
Well, Ellen seems pretty ready to leave.
That's why
I know. That's why
me...
maybe next season will be the last season, or they might make it an even 20. I don't know.
Maybe they're trying to push out 2 more seasons just to go for the even 20, but
I would. I'm weird about numbers though, so
I don't know.
20 is a good even number, so
yeah.
It's like, I mean, yeah, they have their bad episodes every now and then, but I can't really complain lately. I've kind of been entertained.
Yeah,
so,
last couple of episodes have been good. So
yeah,
see.
I think they can make it good.
Yeah.
I was watching that TikTok girl that I watched, that Harley or Hurley or whatever her name is, that talks about Grey's Anatomy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that she's wondering if, because they've been focusing more on Amelia, now not so much these past couple episodes, but when they were focusing so much on Amelia and Kai, she was wondering if that was their way of pushing Meredith out and making Amelia more the star.
I wouldn't be up for that, I don't think.
No. I don't
I mean, Amelia doesn't have like that. You can't, I don't think you can center something. Now, like Bailey, we can center a show around.
Yeah.
But not Amelia, I don't think. Or even Joe, because I've always seen similarities between Joe and Meredith.
Yep.
If Joe was our main star, I could get behind that.
Yep.
Oh,
but I think now that she went down back to
we
OB,
forgot
it
to
won't
talk
happen.
about.
What?
Yeah. One thing we forgot to talk about, when they were in the ambulance bay and Link was there and Kai was like, oh, you're Scout's dad, and Link was like, you met Scout? Or am I thinking of a different episode? Was that this time?
No, that was this episode.
It was just really short. It
was just a little blip. I did not like that. I didn't like that they did that. I didn't like the confrontation.
Mm-mm.
I am so over Link and Amelia fighting. I'm just so over it. Every time that it happens or I see it, I think I forget it.
Yeah.
My brain just forgets it. I'm like, I'm so over this. Like, stop.
Yeah.
They need to at least remain cordial with each other, co-parent like bosses, and get away from each other.
Yeah.
I feel like Kai saying that though was just trying to start something, because honestly, Amelia and them aren't even together anymore. Didn't they cut it off?
I think Kai was just trying. I think they were honestly just trying to make conversation, and Link just had to be a jerk. As much as I love Link, like, just buddy, like, calm down. Like, nobody said that they met Scout, and even if they did, like, it's not really your decision. If Amelia wanted to introduce her child to someone,
it should be a conversation.
I think there should be a conversation, but ultimately he can't stop her from doing it either. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was just another thing to fight about, and I'm so over it.
Exactly. So I don't know, but anyway,
need to move along.
So May 5th, we gotta wait till May 5th, but we got an exciting guest star for the previews.
We got our Addie.
Addison. Yay. And it looks like she's coming in with another solid opening line, true Addison Montgomery fashion. So
I love it.
What was it? Like Meredith Grey's pissing people off old times or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Something similar. I just watched it, but yeah, it sounds like something similar to that, but just one of her good old opening lines that she's famous for.
Or just fun little zingers.
Yeah.
She's just so wonderful. I can't wait for her to come back.
I love her so
But it
much.
looks like Maggie, sorry friends, Maggie is very not happy about Meredith's news.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's her sister, and she didn't say a word to her.
Yeah.
That I never get mad at Meredith. Oh, I get mad at Meredith.
I get mad at her all the time.
I get mad at Meredith, but I don't want to say I never get mad at her.
This one makes me mad too.
It does. I think if she was doing this huge life altering thing, Maggie and Amelia helped raise her freaking kids.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't have enough respect for them to say, hey, I'm thinking about moving to Minnesota. What are your thoughts on it? What are your, I think if she came at them and said, I have this great opportunity, she didn't hide it from them. I honestly think Maggie and Amelia will both be behind Meredith going.
Yeah. Which, does Amelia know? I feel like Amelia knows. No?
Well, she was standing there when Maggie was just yelling at her when Addie walked in, so she knows.
I was trying to figure out if she was around when the offer was first made, if she knew beforehand.
I don't think she knew before that. Okay. I don't think.
I don't know how much she knows right now.
Yeah.
But I don't think she was there when Meredith got the offer.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
I don't think so. So I guess we'll see how that plays out. The sisters are fighting again. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested to see where the Minnesota thing goes, but
me too.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like honestly, she asked Zola for her opinion, which Zola's just a child. I mean, I know she's an older child now, but if you're gonna ask your child the opinion, I feel like you should ask your sisters too, especially because of you guys being as close as you are.
I mean, at least give them a heads up. I mean, maybe, I know Zola's opinion was probably asked because it affects her directly, because I mean, I think I would. I mean, we talked to Elena when we were thinking about moving, because it affects her, and she's old enough to have an opinion. I mean, Shelby not as much because she's little, but Elena's old enough to have an opinion on it, so we talked to her. But I mean, I still brought it up to my family too when we were thinking about moving, and we were only going to move a few hours away. Like, it wasn't like across the country,
Absolutely. So that's a big thing to move. I mean, really, if you're being far away from your family, it's a big thing, and I should feel like it should be a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not their decision, but they have the right to get a heads up and not be sprung on them from someone else. So
it was just really disrespectful to me.
Yeah,
from Meredith. I mean, I know she's like, it's my life, I can do it, but those girls, when you were almost dead,
they got your back.
They had your back. They took care of your kids. They raised your kids as their own.
Yeah. I mean, they would.
And they still do.
Yeah. I think that's the thing.
Helping. I mean, you're going to go off to Minnesota. Who's going to be watching their kids all the freaking time?
The nanny, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm mad at Meredith right now.
I know. It'll be interesting.
I guess we'll see on May 5th.
I guess that covers it though. Talked it all. So make sure to come check out our Facebook group. It's Grey's Anatomy, Grey Family Fan Club. We do lots of fun stuff there. Come discuss all of this with us. You can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all under Fandom Family Chats. And if you want to get in contact with us, you have any questions, you have any ideas of things you'd like to hear us talk about, or just want to respond to something we've said, you can always email us at familyfanclub2021@gmail.com. So that's it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.